In the scrutinized world of Hollywood, it's equally as easy for its star to fall out of the public's radar as it is for them to rise to fame. Whether it's because of personal matters, a few box office misses, or just the rash decision to step away from the spotlight, a lot of this resolve can lead to disastrous career-ending results. I'm your host Michaela, let's get into it. In the comments below, name one celebrity outside of this list who you believe Hollywood has no plans of hiring again. Taking our 10th spot is Tobey Maguire. There has been some serious blame on Tobey's rather quote emo return as Peter Parker for the third installment of the Spider-Man franchise that has people saying he killed his career with his quote awkward comeback. And while to each their own of course, this may not be the full breakdown. In a 2013 Vulture interview with Spider-Man director Sam Raimi, Sam admitted that he was extremely willing to give Tobey a shot at redemption, however it took him too long to put together the script for Spider-Man 4. This delay and the known fact that Tobey would be hitting his mid-30s that year the production started meant that Sony had to eventually pivot their original ideas. In the end, the 2012 reboot The Amazing Spider-Man was birthed with Andrew Garfield starring in Tobey's former role. At this point, Tobey already moved on with producing films like Seabiscuit and 25th Hour, both of which did well critically. Then came his follow-up works Rock of Ages, Pawn Sacrifice, and The Fifth Wave, which didn't see much financial gain. All this tied in with his public image crisis issue where Tobey got tangled up in an illegal poker club scandal turned off support for him. Currently, it's been reported that Tobey only has one in-production TV film on IMDb, which may very well indicate that Hollywood is about done with casting him in any major parts. Subscribe to Where Are They Now today if you think Tobey Maguire should get another opportunity to work in the industry. Taking our 9th spot is Jim Carrey. Back when he was reigning supreme in Hollywood, Jim was very much the undoubted king of the box office. Movies such as Liar Liar, The Mark, and Dumb and Dumber really pushed him upward, pulling in more than $100 million by 2000 and making him the biggest Hollywood hit of that year. Of course, anything can happen with time, and giving credit to the lower-key comedies like The Incredible Burt Wonderstone and Mr. Popper's Penguins in the mid-2000s, Jim's box office hold notably softened. More recently, his status as a celebrity also took quite a blow due to his ex-girlfriend Catriona White taking her own life. This occurrence was reported to be the reason why a rather ugly ongoing legal battle kicked off. Taking our 8th spot is Jessica Alba. Jessica's working resume hasn't been all that impressive when you look at other stars from her time doing what she was. More so her 5 Razzie nominations and single win in her reportedly dull career. According to publications, several films she started, like Fantastic Four, Awake, and The Eye, were disappointing flops. As an actress, it maybe wasn't the best idea for Jessica to bash the scriptwriters of the part she was featured in and blame them for not doing well, because then high-profile media outlets like the New York Times start branding her as vapid. Nonetheless, Jessica's bad movie experience seemed to take a toll on her as she revealed to Elle that she nearly quit her career after a director told her to cry more attractively. She also admitted to stop genuinely acting by her late 20s and noted in more recent interviews that she doesn't prioritize it anymore. Instead, she's focused on being a mom and running her consumer goods brand The Honest Company. However, this very same brand also has taken a hit throughout the years from various lawsuits over its products, even though it saw a value of over $1 billion in 2015. Taking our 7th spot is Sarah Michelle Prince. Sarah didn't see mass success like many thought she would after starring as the titular character in Buffy the Vampire Slayer from 1997 to 2003. Instead, she was often cast for horror films during her big screen transition, many of which critics tore to pieces. As for her non-horror movies, those were also reported to have not done very well, mostly known from her 1999 sci-fi rom-com Simply Irresistible and her starring in the Scooby-Doo movies, although I personally really enjoyed the latter. In television, Sarah didn't seem to be doing any better. In 2011, her starring in Ringer was cancelled after a single season, as was CBS's 2013 comedy The Crazy Ones, despite also casting the late Robin Williams. However, it hasn't been all negatives for Sarah. As a voice actress, she's seen lots of success and even moved on to launching her cooking and lifestyle brand Foodsters. She's also a proud mom for her children, whom she shares with her husband Freddie Prinze Jr. Taking our 6th spot is Tom Welling. Unlike the former stars on this list, Tom made his own personal decision to take a much-needed break from Hollywood. Though to be fair, he starred on Smallville for a decade, so his exhaustion by the end of its run was completely natural. But unsurprisingly, this break also meant once he made his return to the industry, he received very limited opportunities to reach greatness again, especially since he was more selective with the roles he was willing to play. Reports state Tom only included 3 additional movies to his resume since Smallville came off the air in 2011, and all didn't do much for the career he once had either. More recently, Tom attempted to snag a couple of smaller screen roles, however CBS declined to run a pilot where he would have starred as a CIA agent. However, in 2017, Tom made his return with Fox's drama series Lucifer, portraying Marcus Pierce. Taking our 5th spot is Jennifer Love Hewitt. Much like her I Know What You Did Last Summer co-star Freddie Prinze Jr., Jennifer's rise to fame almost parallels the actors to a T. In Hollywood, they both seem to have reached similar unfortunate fates. After riding a huge high between the mid-90s to the early 2000s, Jennifer's career started to slow down. Smaller non-hit roles like her part in the action comedy The Tuxedo in 2002 opposite Jackie Chan, the live-action Garfield film, and the very same movie that supposedly left Freddie's career in the dust, Delgo, basically halted Jennifer's prominence in the industry. Jennifer carried on despite this with a 5-year run on The Ghost Whisperer from 2005 to 2010, lined up with Lifetime's 2010 movie The Client List that later turned into a spin-off series. But this is where things burned out for Jennifer. Rumors that she was difficult to work with on set started to circulate, including an allegation that she demanded her real-life child's father to be in the show, which alluded to the series cancellation as a whole. Then Criminal Minds came in 2014 and all seemed well until fans rallied to petition to have Jennifer written out after a single season. Since this, the actress has yet to bag another on-screen credit or have any productions listed. However, this could be due to the birth of her second child and wanted to purposefully put a pause on her career to bond with her children. Regardless, Hollywood hasn't seen much of Jennifer at this point. Taking our 4th spot is Taylor Lautner. After his massively successful and important role in the Twilight Saga as Jacob Black, Taylor was set to hit superstardom level. But unlike his co-stars Robert Pattinson and Kristen Stewart, who automatically branched out from the teen fantasy drama film, Taylor piggybacked off the success of the franchise by choosing to only star in the 2010 movie Valentine's Day under his Twilight role. When it was Taylor's turn to take on a leading man part, his acting abilities mixed in with being typecast and it being overly anticipated ended up ruining his chance to push the bar higher. His first was in 2011 for Abduction, which was set to do poorly commercial-wise. The following in 2015 for Tracers didn't seem to do much better. After this, Taylor raised his desired future role's asking price to a high of $10 million according to reports, which obviously didn't work well for the entertainment world. However, it hasn't been all horrible. Taylor's seen some success within comedy, attracting great reviews for BBC's Cuckoo series from 2014 to 2016, and becoming a part of Adam Sandler's It Cruise, with parts in the 2013 film Grown Ups 2 and The Ridiculous 6 from 2015. Of course, he probably wasn't going to ever receive any Oscars for these, but these ladders have become fan favorites across the globe, and a win's a win if I do say so myself. Taking our 3rd spot is Taylor Momsen. Another Taylor who Hollywood isn't willing to hire is our former Gossip Girl actress. Not that she has any interest in returning anyway. By 17, Taylor was already working in the business for over a decade, starting with baby modeling at 2 years old because of her parents. Recalling this with Star Pulse, Taylor wasn't very fond, detailing, quote, "My parents signed me up with Ford at the age of 2. No 2-year-old wants to be working, but I had no choice." From here, Taylor landed her 2000 Cindy Lou breakout role for How the Grinch Stole Christmas, bagged a couple additional children's roles, and saw her biggest success ever as Jenny Little J. Humphrey on Gigi from 2007 to 2012. However, this is when Taylor decided to call it quits. She quickly grew tired of Hollywood and gradually drew away from acting to pursue music. Once Taylor's Good Girl Next Door role transitioned into a gothic rock frontwoman on Gossip Girl, the producers wound up producing her parts until she was dropped as a series regular in the 5th season. Though Taylor didn't mind much. In fact, she became rock band Pretty Reckless's lead singer. In 2016, the group became the first in history to have 4 entries sent into Billboard's mainstream rock songs chart. Taking our 2nd spot is Matthew Fox. According to reports, ever since 2010's Lost, Matthew's career has sunk both professionally and personally. Professionally, his movie career didn't make it far, with roles in Alex Cross and World War Z being unmemorable. Personally, Matthew was dealing with horrible headlines, including accusations of him striking a female bus driver and allegations from a former Lost co-star that he was a woman beater, as well as a DUI arrest. Despite denying the first two, Matthew alluded to Men's Fitness in 2010 that he considered quitting acting. Quote, "If I don't get any quality opportunities, you probably won't see much of me. I'll probably be doing something else." Taking our first spot is Ashley Greene. Despite Ashley not once resting after the success of the Twilight Saga from 2008 to 2012, she chose roles after this that didn't advance her career the way people thought it should. Her biggest credit at the time was a tiny part in Butter, a 2011 indie flick that made no money and failed to impress critics despite centering a cast full of big names. Her only non-Twilight screen credit out of 7 movies to garner more than $1 million in box office sales else was The Apparition from 2012, which earned under $5 million on a $17 million budget. This was also said to be Ashley's first official leading role, which seemingly served a double punch. For small screens, ABC's big budget drama Panem disappeared after a single season, and Ashley's run in the one-season Canadian police drama Rogue resulted in cancellation. Of course, a lot of this is not Ashley's fault, so to say, but none of these have generated any particular buzz either. In 2017, Ashley had 3 post-production films in the works, but like the others, nothing much came out of it. That's been today's WATN. Thanks for watching, friends.